Sup, boys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. It's an awesome video. You're gonna love it. It's gonna kind of rock the boats. Might kind of flip the script on some of the stuff you might be used to when it comes to Call of Duty content. But welcome to the channel nonetheless. If you're new here, before we go any further, subscribe. It's free. If you change your mind later on, you just unsubscribe. Now, with that being said, let's rock and roll into this amazing video. All right, man, we're gonna go into some stuff here, guys. Now, Call of Duty is indicative in how these video games are done. Not all video games, but most video games are done nowadays. How most stuff in the world is going nowadays is indicative, is an example, in other words, of this clown world we are living in. The first example I'm gonna give to you is Call of Duty Vanguard's enemy team versus my team. We live in a world where we can't tell the truth anymore, apparently, about what actually is going on or what happened in the past. We seem to not realize that our values of today cannot be applied to the values of the past, because as time goes on, we evolve as a society. Sort of, not really. At the base, I still believe that, as the Joker said in Batman,
you see, their morals, their code, it's a bad joke. Dropped at the first sign of trouble. They're only as good as the world allows them to be. I'll show you. When the chips are down, these civilized people, they'll eat each other.
Which means that people are only good for what they're allowed to do in the society they live in. For example, if you don't live in a Western democracy society, it's pretty rough out there, man. But anyways, now the reason why things are going well and seem safe, and there seems to be law and order for the most part, unless you live in Southside Chicago, boom, roasted, is because we have an abundance of stuff for most of us. But if that were to break down, believe it, my friends, it would go to shit in a handbasket pretty quick, like The Walking Dead, or if you're a little more inclined to be an intellectual, Cormac McCarthy's movie called The Road. Well, it's a book that they made a movie based upon, but the book is much better, called The Road. Now, let's get to the point about Call of Duty and how it's indicative of the world today, of a clown world. And that would be my team versus enemy team. We cannot somehow realize that the past existed and things occurred back then that, like I said, I imagine they could have occurred now, but to deny the truth, which is Psychology 101, you in fact make things worse. Censorship doesn't stop people from behaving in the way that you don't want them to behave. It actually increases the hostility and the radicalization that you so do not want to cause. When you push people down, when you hide the truth, when you feed them a bunch of bullshit, it makes people surprisingly more inclined to rebel against what you're doing at a greater rate if you just told the truth and were honest. Now, like I said, my team versus enemy team. What the hell is even that? Even the Act Man is making jokes about that. Most people have an IQ above 100 and don't have blinders on, can sort of see reality. Like, if you believe what you see and hear from people online of a corporate media in a roundabout way, or the government, if you believe what that they're saying at face value, you're an idiot, okay? You should buy used cars down by the river and buy magic beans online that you think are going to somehow make your dong 15 inches long. If you happen to find some, by the way, let me know, hit me up. And then on top of that, they have eliminations instead of kills. Like, they talk about, oh, we have an elimination because we can't say the word kill. And then we have this whole woke nonsense of inclusivity for the sake of just being inclusive in these video games. Like, this is a game that has been put together for the sake of inclusivity, like the campaign. They don't really want to have a real World War II campaign. They have some make-believe world where a group of every kind of different ethnicity and gender all get together to somehow fight against the enemy, because we can't really say what the actual enemy was back then, so we have to use the word enemy, or the allies, or the, whatever you want to call it. Just don't call me late for dinners. Hey, boom, roasted, smash the like button, subscribe. I'm killing it with the jokes right now. Let me just put that into context of what's going on in the world right now. In New York City, they removed a Thomas Jefferson statue. Why? Because he was a slave owner. Once again, back to the original point of this video, you cannot apply today's standards and values on those that occurred in the past, because back then that wasn't seen as bad. There weren't people going around like, hey, that's a bad idea, we shouldn't do that. No, like, everyone was on board. Like, if you have money, 99.9% of people are like, yeah, slaves is how it is. That's just how the world worked. They were everywhere in the world. To say that it only happened in America back then is a complete fallacy. In fact, there's more slaves now in the world than any other time in the history of mankind. There's people in India and Mexico, in Middle Eastern countries, countries, in the far east of other countries where people are treated extremely poorly on greater numbers than any time in history. But my point is like everyone had them. Who do you think rounded up all the slaves and then brought them to America? Oh, I don't know. You figure that one out for yourself, right? Yeah. Egypt, for example. What are we going to do about that? Egyptians, they had slaves because everyone did. What did they do? We should just tear down the pyramids, get all the Sphinx, kill them out, go into all the museums, and we have to take it all down. And made such beautiful things in the past, all were just probably bad people by today's standards because back then that behavior was just normalized. Once again, we cannot use today's standards and values to judge those in the past. The world we live in is a clown world. People don't want to face the truth. And I don't know who the hell is making these video games. I don't know what is going on, but large majority of us know this, recognize this, and we think it's an absolute joke. Like, who is asking for this? No one's asking for this. I don't know who these people are. It seems like they're getting hired to work on games in different areas of the world. This is obviously just completely just my observations. I don't have a scientific fact behind this. I'm just saying from my observations, it seems that video games and other popular culture and just things that have to do with creativity and productivity, and not just creativity or the arts, but in all facets of life, it seems that things are kind of getting worse in certain areas. Obviously, nothing's absolute, than actually getting better. And I think it's because we're hiring people to do jobs, not based on the merit of their skills, but on what they look like or who they are to fill quotas. I believe that is the exact opposite of equality. That's equality of outcome, not equality of choice, right? Everyone should get an opportunity to succeed, and no one should be held down, and everybody should be given the same advantages and the same opportunities to succeed. And those that do the best, if you want a world that's competitive, because that's how the world is, I mean, like I said, outside these walls of safety of the Western democracy, it's a cutthroat world, even in these Western walls. What you think you see and what you think is going on is not the reality. These people are constantly trying to attack each other, cyber attacks, get a one leg up on each other. It is an extremely competitive world out there. But we as a society are getting worse and worse and weaker because we're not holding up those that excel. We're pushing them down and giving jobs and opportunities to people who are not as qualified, but they are qualified in the way they look instead of the way they perform, which is leading to, like I said, downfalls of a lot of areas in society. In my opinion, like I said, that's what my observation. Could be totally wrong. I don't think I am. Seems that way. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, man, I just had to get this rant off my chest. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm Not 8 Thoughts. I'm glad you were all here. Love you guys as always, and thank you very much for the support. And you take care. Okay, bye-bye.